Hello, Collective. This reading will be called General Collective, the Guiding Light. Oops. Ain't gonna work. Fix this here. Dang it. Stay. Everyone wants to slide around. And I lost my page. It's the page I turned to. Page 52. I'm going to go through a little bit of everything here. See what God has for us. What the Word wants to grant. And turns to the page. The title of this excerpt is called The Creation of God. In the beginning, when the king conceived ordaining, he engraved engravings in the luster on high. A blinding spark flashed within the concealed of the concealed. From the mystery of the infinite, a cluster of vapor in formlessness, set in a ring. Not white, not black, not red, not green, no color at all. When a band spanned, it yielded radiant colors. Deep within the spark gushed a flow, imbuing colors below, concealed within the concealed of the mystery of the infinite. The flow broke through and did not break through its aura. It was not known at all, until under the impact of breaking through, one high and hidden point shone. Beyond that point, nothing is known. So it is called beginning. The enlightened will shine like the Zohar in the sky, of the sky. And those who make the masses righteous will shine like the stars forever and ever. Zohar, concealed of the concealed, struck its aura. The aura touched. It did not touch this point. The beginning emanated, building itself a glorious palace. There it sowed the seeds of holiness, the seed, not seeds, the seed of holiness, to give birth for the benefit of the universe. Zohar, sowing the seed of glory, like the seed of fine purple silk. The silkworm wraps itself within, weaving itself a palace. This palace is its praise, a benefit to all. With beginning, the unknown concealed one created the palace. A palace called God. The secret is, with beginning, created God. With beginning, created God. Is there one more he wants to give us? Go, said Abraham. It's just Abraham. Abram. Go forth. God said to Abram, go to yourself, know yourself, fulfill yourself. This verse is addressed to every person. Search and discover the root of your soul so that you can fulfill it and restore it to its source, its essence. The more you fulfill yourself, the closer you approach your authentic self. So there's our opening. Let's see what the Book of Change has. Instability, short for the collective today, of guidance. and the guiding light. Oh, look, I have paper this time. We've got 7, 7, 8, 7, 7, and a damn changing line on the end. 9. Let's see what that brings us to. We got wind and sky, wind upon the sky, number 9, which was actually the last number we pulled. So we had 778, 779. But then that changes into, we got thunder upon the earth. Sounds like an earthquake. Nine, 16 equals 25. For the hell of it, we'll look up 25 as well. Nine, the nurture of the small, taking care of the collective of every single individual. Nurture of the small is successful. Dense clouds, not raining, come from your own western region. Nurture of the small means that flexibility gains status, and above and below respond to it. Powerful yet docile. With strength and balance, your aim is carried out, and thus you succeed. Dense clouds, not raining, means still being on the move, coming from your own western region, means practical measures have yet to be executed. But that is where we're moving from into happiness. If it is for happiness, it is beneficial to set up local leaders and mobilize armies. In happiness, strength is responsive and aims are carried out. Acting in a harmonious way means happiness. Since happiness is acting harmoniously, even heaven and earth are like this. To say nothing of setting up local leaders and mobilizing armies. Because heaven and earth act harmoniously, the sun and moon do not go off course, and the 4 seasons do not go out of order. As sages act harmoniously, punishments are clear, and people are obedient. The means of the times, our happiness is far-reaching indeed. Thunder emerging from earth's stirring symbolizes happiness. Thus did past leaders make music to honor virtue, abundantly offering it to God to share with their ancestors. And it adds up to 25, which is fidelity. This is amazing reading. Fidelity is very successful, beneficial if correct. If you deny what is right, you're mistaken and will not benefit from going anywhere. In fidelity, strength comes from outside and becomes the guiding force within. Being active and robust, firm strength, balanced and responsive, succeeding greatly in the right way is the order of nature. If you deny what is right, you are mistaken and will not benefit from going anywhere. Where does fidelity lead? Without the help of the order of nature, would you go? Thunder travels under the sky. Things go along with fidelity. Ancient kings promoted flourishing according to the seasons to nurture all beings. And that's what we have for that. Very, very good reading. Now, I wanted to, let's see here, do a layout for us and see what the universe has to give us in guidance, considering the promise of so much already in 11 minutes. Yeah, if I can untie this drawstring. Tells me to do the spread. Okay, that's exactly as many cards as I needed. Put those like that. I'll lay out the spread first. We'll go from there. Everyone does their way, their own way, based upon their intentions and why they're here, as do I. If you're impatient, then, well, that's an issue. Easy come, easy go, right? That's what they say. Doesn't mean they mean shit, but that's what they say. And yeah, and that has to do with enlightenment too, huh? If you took the easy path and you're just like, oh, look, I know what it is. Okay, I got it. Then what'd you gain? Jack shit. But you can rise up in a position of power from there. Blind as a bat. Using all the singers and everything you can listen to as your guiding light. But their entire intention has all been bent and scattered. So it's not good to imitate others, or you definitely have to use your own discernment in all things. Take 2 of those. Put Nellie's face down. Let's see what comes out of this. You know, I don't know if I like the half blonde hair. But hey, it was laying around. I'll just use it up. The change is good sometimes, but ultimately, the change and the stability all is in here. It doesn't matter if you get your face ripped off in a car accident. You're still the same person. If nothing else, you're that much better of a person. Because beauty's only skin deep. Shit, they got AI these days. I've seen what, like some, not to be mean, but like some terribly homely, like Oriental or Southeast Asian or whatever, or Indonesian women, just like, oh my God, you know, if we're looking at beauty, she comes on, you're like, 20 minutes worth of makeup, and you're like, oh man, I'd do her in a heartbeat. Yeah, just don't let her take her face off. So beauty only, yeah, trickery. Really is about what each holds within their heart. And it comes out through one's actions, through one's speech. And another can't necessarily observe and hold on to that, because the whole act of observing changes it, and is usually meant as a source of control. And whenever something is just like the double slit experiment, when you're observing something, all of a sudden its actions change, and possibly towards feeding into what you think that you want to see, but then God is changing it right before your eyes to either support or well, support one way or another, but it clouds the whole vision in most cases. And so that's the thing about, you know, about spying on people. Because who's behind you watching you? Who's running the game? Definitely not the person spying. That person's in the hot seat, unless their intentions are totally pure and they're trying to help the soul that they're watching. Any other intention, they're just eating shit and hoping to die. There's no prosperity in that. Trying to catch people do things right, you're trying to guide things to go right. Anything else is despicable. I like doing things in flow because, well, one thing I've learned is how the mind bends over against itself. So that's the weird thing about preparation. And also, it creates a fakeness about things when it's been prepared. But that's what the world teaches us. Oh, you gotta practice. So when you come out, yeah, see, you're perfect. Oh, look, we got another cookie cutter. Okay. And that's all anybody wants. Everybody just wants to hit copy on the machine, and boom, it's right. So it's right. Okay. Fuck. That just removes the soul, the mind, the spirit, the humanity out of everything. We just want everything to be bricks. Just shit and bricks. We don't want any love in this stuff. well, we don't want any humanity. We don't want any emotions unless it's been set up to manipulate for that reason. That's why. One of the most beautiful things is somebody breaking down in the moment just by reading something, and they choke up, and they shed a tear, or whatever, and it's real. That's beautiful. You'll never see that shit on an award show unless it's like somebody's first time. It's all fucking fake. I mean, they made their life in order to be fake. It's all act. That's what their contract's for. To be an act. And to get others to imitate an act that has already been set up against itself, which is so odd. It definitely made the world a confusing place. Unless you're just true, pure in who you are. Who's bullshitting who? Who's judging who? I mean, especially if you believe in the Bible, you ain't judging nobody. And nobody's perfect, so you might as well follow him. To some degree. Be like, oh. Just glance and be like, oh, shit, we're doing all wrong. Maybe we should change how we're doing shit. Not imitate. Because it just waters everything down. Like the whole concept of, I don't know, of there being a church. Okay. But then we have, 1,000 denominations and 15 churches per town, and you can just pick and choose, but your body is the temple, and this is where God dwells, but then you have to go somewhere else? What the fuck? That doesn't even make sense. Where the fuck you going? You running out on yourself to go get God? And to join in with everyone else running out on themselves? It's kind of weird. Everything's set up as a contradiction. There's no disrespect, we're just speaking. I mean, it's common sense. Love it. For only card I've seen face up. We got Bastet. My black kitty. Passion. She's heading our reading. Love it. My favorite goddesses. So just leave it at that. For those, and let's pull since we have the time, we're going to do extensive, you know. We're going to do a little bit of everything right now. We did the I Ching. That's what I say. Or read from the Tao. Took some from Kabbalah, which was there before the Bible, which is the irony of why the Nazis were set up, so that you had a Jewish leader against the Jews, and it's about the ego. And now today we have Israel. Supposedly everybody that's about the Bible is about Israel, but Israel is about murdering people. Anybody that's Palestinian, basically anybody that's spiritual, anybody that's innocent, and holding the power with losers that don't value human life, that don't value God, that don't value love. And we're sending all our money over there so they can kill children. Love it. Yeah. The promised land, the holy land. Yeah, the not. Considering the Catholic Church was the one that set up Islam. The Catholic is a few steps up from the Torah. And then they made it so that they rewrote history backwards, and they made it so that Abraham divided into Western religion, Catholicism, Christianity and such, and Islam the other way. And Islam, pretty much just one body of infinite bodies, unchanging and static. And then you have, Christ coming up this ladder in a family tree of division upon division upon division with no Christ there. Unless it's in each person, but then hey, then it's back to Islam. See, everything's continually being divided upon divided against itself and against its own beliefs in order to have a foundation of no foundation as a premise, so that everyone can be robbed, blind, deaf, dumb, and controlled. Keeps everybody at work, keeps everybody busy, and then instantly to go buy themselves a fancy car, a fancy house, and some nice clothes and shit, and then have all this debt. When all the money was created off of your body the day you were born, but you spend your whole life giving everything you have, everything you ever get, as interest against you, as if you become depleted the older and more experienced you get. But that's how they have it set up, because, okay, so, you learn this stuff in high school, hey, now you're useful. Okay, well, now you need to pay more money in to get more useful. But really, college does teach us some skills and stuff, but mostly it takes you further and further and further away from yourself to be pigeonholed in a pigeonhole. What are you going to do after that? Well, I went to school to be a dentist. Okay, now you're a dentist. You do carpentry? No. Can you? Well, I can paint a house. Okay, everybody can paint a house. That's right. Oh, but you ain't going to do that. That's too low for you. And that's why most people go through the midlife crisis. Because all of life up to that point was setting you in the wrong direction to fail yourself. But we're all learning, and the ego goes backwards against itself. So hey, yeah, I want to be. Okay, yeah. Oh, you hit a dead end, did you? Oh shit. Guess you're moving back in with your folks. You had to go back to school, or get an online retail business. Just sell more junk that nobody needs and keep that shit circulating forever. Life is challenging when you already had everything you needed. Technically. And everything everyone taught you. Especially your parents, the first 10 years of your life. All but a couple things that everybody already knows, like don't harm other people, like no hitting. Yeah, every baby knows, don't hit. What does every man do? As soon as they get mad, they fucking hit somebody. Fucking baby. Fucking baby. Seriously. You don't lay a hand on anybody out of anger. That's the most cowardly, pathetic, useless, and condemning action you could have. It doesn't show you're a man. It shows you have no control, and you don't need to be responsible for anything because you're not responsible for yourself or anyone else. What's the first thing to teach boys? Let's hit each other with swords. Yeah, boys are fighting. Yeah, boys fight. Yeah, boys fight. Oh yeah, get in football. Boys hit each other. Yeah, boys fight. Boys fight. Yeah, just to keep men down at the bottom tier as weak cowards that only feel powerful when they ruin themselves and other human life to prove that they don't have any control, that they don't value anybody, especially themselves. Because it's going to come back on you. If you have a family and you're like, oh, well, to protect my family, I need to threaten people. Oh, you did this, I'm going to hurt you for my family. No, that's backwards. It says you don't deserve a family. You're still a baby. Because babies know pretty quick, don't hit. We're just going to go with this. We don't need tarot. So we're given Uranus in Cancer in the 5th house. It guides us to find new and unusual examples, to use our feelings, and to express the power of love. To find different ways of looking at the attitudes from the past. That's what we're talking about. There's the past, the baggage everyone's holding on to, but that's what the ego does. It holds on to a track record and goes, well, a black guy once cut me off in traffic, and that's the only person that ever cut me off. So whenever I see a black guy driving a car, then I just have a reaction. And everyone's programmed that way. And things change minute to minute. Your DNA upgrades and changes every minute. Across the whole matrix cellular system of your body, based upon your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs, and your attunement to the divine, which is all encompassing. And it suggests an unexpected change coming about in the physical reality with everyone's intuition and the changing of how we create the world around us. The money doesn't change shit. So I don't know about the money changers, because they ain't changing shit because they ain't based it on shit. That's why they got to keep it changing, to keep everyone confused. When there's way more prosperity in the world than ever before, and everyone is still struggling forever. Because 10 guys have $100 billion. And what do they need it for? They just eat, sleep, and shit like everybody else. Just so they can have 10 fucking castles? When they could take care of fucking 10 goddamn states by themselves? That's how they keep everybody slaving. And then everybody that's a professional is like, oh, charge for that. Charge for every last thing. Oh, it's another piece of paper. That's another $5. Everything's extra. It says, I live in lack. I never have enough. I'm afraid. I'm scared. Look, here's my degree. Here's my 10-star. I'm scared. Yeah, I'm a professional. I'm a boss. Children are the professionals. They're the boss. Lovers in communication, they're in charge. That's the boss. But that's why they've tied everybody up into marriage is a business contract and a damning thing against souls. Because, well, love doesn't require that. Business does. And business is ran by the shadow aspect, the darkness, about control. We're told to and reminded to maintain nobility, transparency, depth, and continuity. Be noble, for you are made of stardust, being high in character, splendid in quality, composing oneself well. It's Leo and Taurus. It's good balance. Transparency, what you see is what you get. Absence of deception, disclosure of information, honest communication. Another perfect balance card. It's Aquarius and Libra. Depth. Truth lies at the bottom of the well. Having interest and complexity beyond the obvious surface level. That's Cancer and Taurus. And continuity, one thing leads to another. Unbroken chain of events, series of happenings, connected cause and effect. Virgo, Aries. That's a good balance. Thank you, Bastet, who is number 16. We're all reminded that this is a time to align our lives. What is not in alignment and what needs to change. For myself, the number one thing is smoking cigarettes. I'm down to like 5 or 6 right now. I'm guided to not use a patch, definitely not use gum. But I have patches. Because Spirit tells us, the universe reminds us that that anxiety feeling, that's where power lies. That is when the mind is focusing towards its true intentions. That's why, for instance, uppers of speed of any grade or degree, meth being the instant top tier, gives the body that instant feeling of both lack and excitement and full throttle and emptiness all at one time. Boom, you're at God. Now what? Then, wherever you point your attention, both minds align and embody. All mind. One ladder. Everything goes together. Purity. But we're all instead in the natural world. Oh, well, you're hungry. Go eat. Yeah. You want a cigarette? Go have a cigarette. If you got to pee, go pee. But see, that's the weird thing about manifestation. It seems like that's the joke behind the letter P and 16. That things like awakening just show up. Boom. Oh, shit, it's here. When you're not looking. Or when you weren't thinking about it. Like, been drinking fluids all day, it didn't matter. And then the moment you get to your door and you're getting your keys, I go, oh my God, I gotta pee right now. I gotta pee. Oh, fuck, I can't even get the key in the door. I'm gonna piss myself off. That's weird, huh? And that's a perfect spot of manifestation and a metaphor. And we're told that, right now, in this very time and place, here, there, and everywhere, we're birthing a new age. Birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being, where everyone can be taken care of. Why is war happening in the world? To keep everyone down, to waste the money, to waste the people, to waste the resources, to keep dominion of a blanket of evil, hunkering everyone down in fear. What good is a leader that lives like that? That's a cowardly leader. And that's how most leaders are. Rule by fear. Well, to rule by fear, one is living in fear. Otherwise, you wouldn't need to make everyone afraid of you. And so you create a nation of cowards under one coward we trust. Yeah, that's a pretty strong regime. We're given two modes of change to think about. Our inner truth and making it lasting inner truth. So it doesn't change. Nobody can throw you off course. You are who you are. And you only need to focus on coalescing that each day into more purity of what that essence is. These cards have some guidance on the back. Questions. Where do you place your trust, and what feels true to you? Success in ongoing ventures and the insight to be in the right place at the right time are both manifestations of your inner truth. Keeping tirelessly to your own path, whatever landscapes it travels through, is not a mistake. What lasts bears fruit, not because you arrive at some final destination, but because through all the changes, you persevere in your intent, always finding ways to make it real. What inspiration are you making real in your daily life? How can you continue on the same path even as you adapt? I myself have taken upon this as one of my practices. If nothing else, it's 2 or 3 cigarettes I didn't have that day. It's time more better spent with myself, for us, the self. Who will you become by persevering in this? And we're left with 2 last cards. We're given Pluto transformation. But I feel it was important that it was inverted. Because transformation is, we're past that. That phase ended on a fine ballpoint pen period recently. Transformation's over. The effects of the transforming and all the work done previously now is leading. And so we have the Grand Cross, Provoker. I don't know much about this card. And I'd like to see what it has to say about it before I leave you with this. I enjoy spending time here with you. Come on, you slow son of a... This phone is... Jesus. I really want one of those Samsung Fold phones. Shit, I saw one the other day. And when they first came out, they were like $1,000, $1,200. Are you kidding me? I got $100 phones. And this is the only screen I've ever broken in my life. Just by going, oh, look, the screen cracked. Don't know my own strength. But I saw one the other day. They're going for $300 to $400 now. Not that I get one anytime soon, but hey, come on. The Grand Cross. Because all the aspects in the Grand Cross are considered difficult aspects, the Grand Cross is seen as a source of extreme tension whereby various aspects of the personality, represented by the planets, are working at cross purposes that serve to nullify each other. But this is the final card revealing that we're leaving the cross. The Pluto transformative part is done at the cross. Others may approach the cross and are going through their transformation still, but the axis is being left to see it as, crossing over the galactic center or whatever in a sine wave, that we have just passed that equal XYZ axis. In astrology, the Grand Cross is said to occur when 4 planets are all separated from each other by a square of 90 degrees apart. Yeah, on a square. A Grand Cross can also be viewed as 2 oppositions 180 degrees apart. Yeah. In a Grand Cross, there is 1 planet in each astrological element, but all the planets are in sign of the same modality and quality. Over here, I want to look at one more thing for us. What's it called? Here it is. Right now, the moon is 10 degrees, 51 minutes in Leo. The sun is 27 degrees, 22 minutes, Sagittarius. Mercury, 7 degrees, 3 minutes, Sagittarius. Venus is 13 degrees, 11 minutes in Aquarius. Then we have Mars in retrograde, is at 5:12. Leo. Jupiter, 1447, Gemini in retrograde. And Pluto is at 40 minutes in Aquarius. Uranus, since it came up here, is right on X, 24 degrees. Taurus, retrograde. And perfect timing. So I'll leave you with that to think about as we continue our day. See you soon.